when I discovered two chicks nesting atop a cupboard in my patio. My parental muscles started flexing beneath my shirt. Not that those birds needed another parent, since their mother was doing a fine job already, but I still checked on them every day like a security guard on routine patrol. They were growing fast. I called them Bill and Ted. At first, Mother Bird was there all the time, alert yet unmoving. I've often seen birds flapping around and messing on statues of men, but Mother was more like a statue of a bird fixed upon two live chicks. That didn't last long. In bird time, 2 weeks is a lot. Mother began to leave Bill and Ted from time to time for, I assumed, food and exercise. Perhaps COVID lockdown and being a mother of two baby Zenaida Doves called for similar routines. By week 3, Mother was leaving more often, at times leaving the siblings to settle their own arguments over perching rights. They also became more aware of my presence. If I got too close, they would extend their wings, creating a defensive barrier between my phone lens and their fragile little bodies. But Mother must have known that I was no threat, because she was there less and less. By week 4, I barely saw Mother at all. That week, I watched TV with my father. Despite sunset having long gone, the fan was on its highest setting just a few feet away. The suspense of the TV series Goliath had gripped us both, yet my attention was suddenly yanked by something more pressing. A white light went outside the window behind the TV screen and disappeared just as quickly as it came. I shot up from my horizontal position and darted into the kitchen to see who was there. There was no evidence of anyone outside. No musky wafts, no floral hints of clothing, no sounds or even footprints on the white patio tiles shining in the fluorescent light. For a better vantage point, I ran into the room next door and peered through the flaps to see Ted making his way out of the driveway. He was dead, or dying, in the jaws of a ginger cat strutting its way out of the yard. There is a higher order to what we perceive. If Mum were here, she would be distraught, I said to Dad, to which he laughed and replied, "The universe gives and the universe takes." I reflected on that for a moment, and then we continued with our TV show. The next morning, I was up before the sun. I lit a candle, not for Ted, but for my meditation, and sat for 40 minutes. After some exercise, I showered and I checked in on Bill. He was there, trotting back and forth, and alert to the point of paranoia. His eyes were locked onto me like a heat-seeking missile. Of course, to him, I probably looked like a very big cat. Nature has its own order, I thought. So I left Bill to fend for himself. From the kitchen, I saw Bill teetering on the ledge. I thought about placing food for him and proceeded to look for nuts and seeds, but nature had its own plan. I blinked once. By the time I opened my eyes, Bill had already leapt off the edge of the tall cupboard. He spread his wings wide for the first time in his life, and they caught him in midair, taking him across the patio, through the arches, and out into the open sky. Your life challenges are there to serve you. I stood in the kitchen and sipped on a fresh coffee, swimming in a hot pool of thoughts. I was amazed at how nature had its own way of keeping balance, and that Ted's short life may have served a greater purpose than I had considered. He was seemingly cursed by misfortune, while the ginger cat was celebrating his meal. The universe was reordering itself. And what made it so that Bill should fly today, the day after his brother was eaten? Backed into a corner, left by his mother, and grieving the loss of his brother, Bill had exactly the situation he needed, the pressure of his circumstance, in order to stretch his wings and fly.